What's going on? It's your boy Fab, Freddie Fox, America's Big Brother, and we back with another episode of the Saturday Night Sit Down. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Fab, Freddie Fox, America's Big Brother, and we back with another episode of the Saturday Night Sit Down. And today I got my boy, longtime friend, Ice the Barber. What's going on, my man?
What's up, my boy, Fab Freddy? What's up, baby? That intro music is so hard, bro.
Yeah, listen, man. What I love about it, yo, like I was going to my boy Renee, man. I known him since elementary school, man. And he's always been doing beats and stuff. When I was starting the moment I thought about my podcast, I was like, yo, I got to get this dude to do my beat. You know what I mean? He's been doing a bunch of beat battles and stuff. Yo, not even 24 hours, bro. I said, yo, this is what I'm trying to go for. This is the vibe. I sent him a few samples of some other songs. I was like, I need something kind of like upbeat. And he hit me back with that. I said, yo, this is it. You don't got to do nothing else. This is it right here. This that beat right here.
And I'm just hoping you put some lyrics behind that sometime.
Yeah, man, this is it's a beautiful thing, man. And just the energy that you got from it, that's what I'm looking for, man. It's that really, really good vibe, man. So
feel me?
So I'm so happy to have you here, man. We back, man. You know, it's a Saturday Night Sit Down. And as I know you've been listening to a couple of my episodes, and the whole purpose of this show is like that, man. I know, and I've always said this every time, is that I struggled my way into manhood, into adulthood. And I'm sure like a lot of us have done that. And, you know, especially having my two kids now, it's a little bit more realization. I want to do more to really help guide the younger generation and help educate them and make their transition a little bit easier and have a bunch of positive role models I take a look up to, because I know a lot of my friends that said growing up didn't have their dads in their life. They didn't have a lot of positive role models to look up to. And that's what's damaging to our community, man. You know what I'm saying? We really need to have that positive influence and really those good teachers to help guide us in the right way. You know, so sitting down with people like this and you, man, Mr. Entrepreneur, going up big things, knowing you from the come up, man, and seeing everything you've been able to do and stuff like that is very, very inspirational, man. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, man. So thank you for coming on with me, man.
I appreciate you for having me here. You know, a lot of things was rushing through my mind. I'm like, man, my boy Fab wanted me to get here. I don't know what this is going to be like. You know, I watched the past episodes and all that. So, you know, I'm so happy to be here. I'm blessed to be here. I appreciate you, bro.
No, of course, man. So let's get started, man. As you know, man, my very, very first question to everybody when they sit down in the hot seat, man, is to you, man. What do you think are some of the main characteristics or the main qualities that make up a good man or a good person?
I'll say, like, honesty. That's number one. Dig deeper on that. Continuing the podcast, I'm going to say stay ahead of the game. You know, when I say stay ahead of the game, I mean, like, you know, when you live, you know, with your wife or your daughter, you have to double check on everything before you leave the household. Mm-hmm. You know, like, you know, if there's no formula, make sure you write that down. Like, boom, before I come home, I'm going to get some formula. Conversation, you have to keep an open mind with your wife. You know, sometimes I'll be, you know, lacking that conversation piece, but, you know, my wife always correct me. I'm like, oh, you have to talk to me, boom, boom, boom. You know, and another thing is just like, sometimes you have to have corrective criticism towards yourself, you know, as a man, because, you know, you have to check yourself.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, like, you know, sometimes you be slipping. Look in the mirror, I'm like, man, listen, you slipping. You need to do this. You need to become this. Yeah. Not for you, for your family.
Exactly.
Not for you for other people at your workforce to see you like, okay, I can look up to him. He's a good example, you know, and just stay on top of your business. You know, it's just, I don't know. I could get deep into this. Just stay on top of yourself, spirituality into yourself, with your friends. Stay honest with your friends, and not everybody is your friend. You have to, you have to know that. Mm-hmm. You know, some of your childhood friends you was coming up with, you know, where you going, you can't take them with you.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to say to yourself, boom, I love this guy, but I'm going to keep him in this pocket because he's great in this pocket, but he's not great in this pocket. Know people's strengths and weaknesses.
And know how to leverage them, man. And I want to go touch back on something because, like you said, with your wife and the communication piece. And I think part of that is, when it comes to being a good man is something that I feel is that growing up, how we grew up in our area and all the things that how we were taught is really be shielded with your feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
especially when it comes to the opposite sex. Yeah. You know what I mean? We were really trained to not show our emotions or not let everything out there or be, because I had that same problem with my wife too. A lot of times, you know what I'm saying, like, she would come to me like, I need you to talk to me, see what's up, like what's on your mind, because I would just shut down.
Right.
You know what I mean? Think something's bothering me and I'm going through something, whatever. Like, we're almost like trained or taught to, you got to deal with it yourself. Right. They say you got to man up. You know what I'm saying? You got to handle your business, and in doing that, you lock out the closest ones that you love. You know, a real big example, man, and just get a little deeper on that and a little personal. 2 years ago, right, when my wife was pregnant with my son, you know, I was going through a lot of depression. Right. I was going through a lot of insecurity. I was going all over the place, and as a man, I was going through a lot. Like, I just didn't feel like I wasn't provided for my family. Like, I wasn't equipped to do certain things. I was trying to really find my place in this world. And while doing that, I really shut my wife out. I shut her out completely. And we both acknowledged that it was the worst summer of our relationship. To make matters worse, on top of that, you know, my dog that I had for 11 years, you know, my best friend, we had to put him down. Ooh. And that really messed me up, because that's my first son, you know, because like I said, like, at one point in my life early on, I didn't think I could have kids, you know what I'm saying? I was
that's
like,
your first responsibility.
Yeah, you know, and I had my dog, and he was my boy. Like, I never had him on a leash. He was with me everywhere I went for 11 years. And it wasn't until he wasn't there that I really realized how much he really meant to me, you know what I'm saying, and what he did for me as a person, really, to get through things.
That's deep.
And I felt so alone and abandoned, and I shut my wife out in the midst of a pregnancy, you know what I'm saying, which was so horrible. And it was that thing too. Like, she kept telling me, you know, you got to talk to me. Like, what's going on? Because I didn't tell anybody about how, you know, deal with my feelings with my dog, you know, my boy. Like, I didn't talk to anybody. I really kept all that self, and I let it internalize and eat me from the inside out. And it was just doing so much damage because I didn't know how to communicate with her. And she was the one really that set me straight. Like, listen, we need to figure something out, man, because we can't. It's not healthy. You know what I'm saying? It's not going on. So I think it's very, very important, like you said, communication, and especially like that with your wife, your spouse, your significant other, to really maintain that they're your best friends. You know what I'm saying? They with you to the day you die. You know what I mean? Like they say that. So you got to really be open and honest with that. So I'm really glad that you touched up on that point, man.
Most definitely. I feel like, you know, as a man growing up in the projects, expressing your feelings was not it, you know. But older you become, you realize, like, you know, like, I have to talk to my wife. I have to express to her how I feel. I want to go back a little bit, then I'm going to come back to the present time with my wife. I remember when I graduated high school, I was so happy. I was like, yeah, I graduated high school. We lit. Fuck school. I'm out of here. Right. 3 days later, I was in a Great Depression. You know, I was like, damn. You know, a lot of my peers was going to college. A lot of my peers knew what they wanted to do. And I cried. And I was like, damn, you know, I don't know what I want to do. I bullshitted through the whole high school. I don't know how I graduated high school, to be honest, but I'm happy I got out of there, you know. And then, you know, I went to NCC. I played for NCC, left NCC, went to Gibbs Community College.
I was at Gibbs.
You know what I'm saying? And then afterwards, I was an electrical apprentice. Then I fell back. I was like, damn, I really don't know what I do. And I got into, you know, some extracurricular activities, you know, when you raise up in the ghetto, whatever you want to think about, you know, that's what I got into. So, you know, my uncle, rest his soul, he found me on the corner. He was like, yo, bro, what you want to do growing up? And I was like, I don't know. He said, come in the car, Poppy, let me talk to you. Then he talked to me. He was like, yo, just think about what you want to do. And I told him, you know, I want to cut hair. He said, all right, cool. He brought me to his house. He said, sit right here and reflect on your life. And then I ain't going to lie to you. I, you know, even though I told him I want to cut hair, I thought he was going to teach me how to cut hair. And this dude, you know, for a living, he was a taxi driver. And I sat in his house, and I sat there just thinking about my life, thinking about what's going on. And I was depressed. You see what I'm saying? And I noticed, you know, a few years passed. 4 years later, people was graduating college.
Right.
And I'm still working a regular minimum wage job. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And then that's when I was like, you know what? let me try this out. I said I want to cut hair, but I was still playing around, you know. And then I got focused on cutting hair, and at this time I started dating my girlfriend, which is my wife at this time, and she asked me, "Hey, what do you want to do with your life? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?" And I said something very ignorant, you know. I said, you know, I want to do hand in hand. You know, hand in hand is like, you know, selling drugs. Then after, she's like, well, you can't date me unless you graduate at least from a trade or a college. I was like, nah, I can't leave her. You see what I'm saying? Because she's so focused, you know, and I'm so lost in this world. What I'm going to do? At least I know somebody that know where they're going in life. And then after, I was like, oh, I think about it. Then the next day, she bought packets of hair school to me. Like, hey, these are the hair schools that I was Googling online. And if you want, we could visit it each one by one to see which one you would like. Now, I said at that time, it's real. But at that time, I was bullshitting. You see what I'm saying? And then after, I was like, you know what? I tried the electrical apprentice thing. I tried the Norwalk Community College, the GIDS thing. Let's see if we could try this out. And hey, bro, I loved it.
Look where you at now.
Yeah, look where I'm at right now. But at that time, I couldn't see the future.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Now, my older brother, he was a smart one in the family. Just imagine hearing everybody in the family saying, your brother's smart, your sister's smart, what's wrong with you? You start believing what's wrong with you. Maybe I am the oddball of this family. You see what I'm saying? And then, like soon I started realizing certain things of myself, and, fast forward of my marriage, my father told me something when I got married, like, hey, bro, let me know if it's easy being with one wife. Because I always ask my father, like, yo, why did you cheat on mom? This, and that, and the third. And then now I'm married, I'm like, damn, this is not easy. And there's a lot of temptation out there. Fast forward, and he told me, like, yo, bro, take it from me, stay with one woman. Because I'm by myself. You see what I'm saying? So at that very moment, once I moved out of my mother's house, I was like, yo, learning from my father's mistakes, I have to understand my woman. And then I remember a conversation with my mother. She said, I remember, before I get to the conversation with my mother, I remember I said something to my wife. And I said, hey, mama, before we was married, she dumped me because I lied to her. Then my mother said, yeah, I left your father because your father was a liar. So at that moment, I said, you know what? I have to keep it honest to my wife. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then from there, the communication started. I got to keep it honest anywhere I go. Like, yo, boom, baby, I'm about to go here. Baby, this is what I'm thinking about. What's your feedback on that? Even though, like, how's your day? I used to give her, like, oh, my day was cool. She's like, yo, guys talk so simple. You have to get in depth in the conversation. Like, oh, how was really your day? She trained me on actually open up with my heart, tell them, like,
yeah, no, same thing with my wife too. Cause again, like you said, growing up and what we did, like it was always taught to us, like, yeah, like you don't love these hoes, you gotta keep it real, we keep it rugged. You know what I'm saying? They ain't nothing, you know what I mean? And really play this whole macho man type of mentality that doesn't work. And you look back at these dudes, you said they all running the streets solo by themselves with nothing to show for it. You know what I mean?
I feel like that comes into, once you leave the stoop, you see outside everybody, we a product of environment. We watching videos on TV, they gangster.
Yeah.
And then you look out your window, they thugging too. So now you outside, like, man, I gotta be tough. Just like these guys, I can't show them I'm weak. Because if I show them how I really feel, I'm a weak, like, oh, he's soft.
Listen.
We could walk all over him.
Listen, that's the biggest thing why I always shut down my wife, and I always tell her, say, why don't you open up and say, listen, I don't want you to see me weak. If I'm supposed to be the foundation of the family, I cannot have any faults in me. I can't crumble. I can't, because what's that gonna make? Then you gonna be like, damn, this nigga weak. I might go find somebody stronger or somebody who got their shit together. So I can't expose myself to you in certain areas because I want to keep you. I need to keep this macho man persona alive as long as I can, even when I'm crumbling and I'm breaking down. And like I said, it's playing nice. Like she go to bed and I go outside on the porch and I'm crying and depressed and miserable, you know what I'm saying? Like, and going through all these feelings, wiping off my face, come back inside like, I'm good. You know what I mean? And it took time, like I said, it took a lot. When you find that real good woman, they help you, they train you to help you grow. That's one of the biggest things. Like I said, when you find somebody who helps you grow, that helps you, I'm saying, better yourself every single day, that's a good woman. That's a good person to be with. You know what I mean?
Most definitely. You know, I'm happy. I ain't dating no more. I'm happy. I'm happy I'm married, bro. Because it's hard out here. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, when you find a woman that is great for you and understand you for you, man, sky's the limit.
It's a beautiful thing, man. And I want to touch back because that's another thing I got, like, what we go about this is just the importance of our fathers and stuff like that. So for you and your dad, man, what was your relationship with your dad like?
My relationship with my father, it was great. He's a hardworking man. You know, I get that from him. But my father, he was just a guy, like, he'll pick me up. You know, he was with my mother. And, you know, he dibble-dabble like an island man. You see what I'm saying? You know, it's my mom. He had other kids, other places. But one thing I respect about my father is he always helped his kids. You see what I'm saying? So he will work 2 or 3 jobs. So I barely see my father. I always see my mother. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But his work ethic was great. I didn't really know my father until, like, I want to say 24 years old, because he was always working. You see what I'm saying? But my relationship with my father was a great relationship. It always could have been better. You know, like, I feel like, you know, when you're a father, you're doing everything you can do. You do everything that you need to do.
Right.
But it's always, and it depends on the kid. You know, I wish my dad did this. I wish my dad did that. You know, just imagine if you had a father who always came to your baseball games, you know, and then the cheerleader father, like, Now that kid might be like, man, my dad's embarrassing me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
You always want what you don't have.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So my father was a dad that he always taught me hard work. He always spoke in parables. He never actually told you, oh, don't go here. He always say like, something like, hey man, I see you crying over a woman tonight. I want to talk to you about, and I'm gonna make you never cry over a woman again. And he'll talk about like, yo, you see this sack of rice? Take this grain of rice. That's you. And then the sack of rice is other people that you never met in this world. Why should you cry? He never tell you something direct. He was just speaking parables. All my uncles, talk like that. I have a lot of great morals from my father. He's a great man. I wish he spoke a little bit more, but he's from the old school, Like, he never told me anything. You see what I'm saying? But
yeah, my dad never told me anything either. Like, that's one of the things, like I always say, like I said, you wish that you had. I wish I had more heart-to-heart with my dad or things like that growing up. But my dad, we had them few and far between. There was moments when me and my dad would have a really deep heart-to-heart about certain stuff, and it was just an amazing conversation. But mostly, man, I've learned so much from my dad just by watching his action and how he moves.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, watching what he do, how he moves, you know, and not seeing certain. Because that's one of the things, like I said, when it came to about being like husband and wife, right? My mom and my dad would have wars. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would go out. They used to get physical sometimes at some points. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember one time my mom busted a cookie jar over his head, and it got rough. You know what I'm saying? But the next morning, he'd wake up, her coffee would be right there on the little thing next to her. He'd go clean up her car. They may not talk to each other, whatever, but he was holding her down, And my dad always told me, too, sometimes when we got into like a deep conversation, he had told me, a long time ago, man, when I was talking to your mom's mom, I told her I would always take care of her. I promised her that, and I will never break that promise, no matter what happens. You know what I mean? And that's how I learned. That's what I said, like, when it comes to my wife, like, I told my wife, I don't care what we go through. You know what I'm saying? Like, I chose to be with you, come hell or high water. Like, we're going to work it out. We're going to fix it. We're going to do something. I'm going to be here in the morning. We might shut each other out, whatever, but I'm going to still take care of you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Like you said, like, I watched a lot of things from my father instead of conversation. Me visualizing everything my father did, like, yo, boom, he went to work. That's why I work so hard right now. Because I said to myself, yo, my dad worked 2 jobs to provide for the family. So my work ethic came from him. You see what I'm saying? And I didn't really have a lot of deep conversations. Conversations with my father was almost like, how was your day? Okay. It's like short spurts of conversations. But one real conversation I have with my father is when he told me why I'm independent. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know, I was 24 years old. I went to my father's house and was talking. And I told my dad, like, yo, you know, my dad worked 7 days a week. And he caught a stroke. So now when he caught a stroke, I have time to talk to him. He slowed down. Right, you see what I'm saying? Right. So I talked to my father. At this time, I was working as a security guard and working as a barber. And I asked my father, I said, hey, Dad, how do you feel about working 7 days? And he said, yo, man, I don't suggest nobody work 7 days because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how hard you work and how many hours you put in for the paycheck, the money never adds up and it's never enough.
I always say this, man, even God took a day to rest.
You heard? You see what I'm saying? So after he said that, I took a day off. I was like, you know what, I'm going to work 6 days instead of 7 days. You see what I'm saying? Now, instead of working full-time as security, I quit that job, and I work part-time, and I work full-time as a barber. Then after, as I continue to talk to my father, and my father said, the only reason why you're independent is because my father owned land in Haiti. You see what I'm saying? And he used to sell crops to the people in the inner city to make a living. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So now, my father worked as a taxi driver. That's independent also. You know, of course, he had to pay a certain amount of money at the end of the week to the company, but he controlled his own hours. Right. You see what I'm saying? So now he said that's why you a barber and you control your own hours. It's part of the blood. So just imagine what your kids are going to do. And that was deep. And I know it's a light conversation, but I cried. You know, I got very emotional at that point because I said, damn, man, I'm really having a great conversation with my dad. Yeah. And it took so long to sit down with him to have this conversation. And that was the first conversation of many. Mm-hmm. Like he worked 2 jobs. He was a chef and a taxi driver. But when he caught the stroke, it was a bad thing and a blessing at the same time. Now his kids could get to know him. And then, he had a minor stroke, not a crazy stroke, but he decided to take some time off. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, definitely, man. It's important, and it's so, I think it's even more why I started doing this is really, like I said, with my son, because it's different. Right. It's different with a boy and a girl, like I always say, man, I'm teaching my daughter what to look for in a man, but I got to teach my son how to be a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't got to do nothing but just look for certain characteristics and see things that check off, but I got to teach my son how to be a man. Mm-hmm. And I think having more of those heart-to-hearts with my dad would have helped as well, just, really have that better communication and be there on top of what he showed me, because my dad, nobody messed with me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he even with my mom, like, there was a lot of times, too, like, when my mom would, and I realized this when I was older, my mom would take me away from the house to yell at me.
Why?
Because my dad wouldn't have that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You mean?
Like, there's plenty of times, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if she would yell at me in the house or whatever, cool. And then, like I'm saying, I would leave it, go hang out with the fellas or whatever, and then I come back, and I see my mama huffing and puffing. She's like, I can't get dad over here talking about I can't talk to you like this, do that, whatever. Like, he would go in on her. You know what I'm saying?
I understand,
though. And even, like when I left the house, right, my mom had this thing. I would always be out coming in late, you know what I'm saying, like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, chilling with the fellas or whatever, stuff like that. And then my mom would have this habit, right? She'd come in, she had to work for like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning to go to work, and she'd just kick in my door and just start yelling at me. Like, oh, you didn't do the dishes and you came home and you left the cup in the sink and this, that, or didn't, like, whatever it was, just like wake me up screaming at me. And I'm thinking to myself, like, like, none of this is registering. Like, I am, like, out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's got to a point where, like, that's one of the reasons, like, why I just left the house. Like, why I ended up, like, I moved out dirty, which I admit that. Like, I'm saying, like, I was my mom, like, yeah, man, the moving truck's going to be here tomorrow and I'm leaving. She's like, what? Oh, like, straight up, like, yeah, I got a place up in Bridgeport and I'm going. My dad was, like, so angry. He was like, it's because of you knocking the door and screaming at him and this, that, or whatever. But he wouldn't. My dad didn't play that. Like, I don't know, the Floormans, Jeff D. Floorman, Ethamar, and them. Yeah. All right, so they used to live on the app, right? Me and Jeff D, man, that's my boy, man. But we used to get into a lot of fights.
Big family.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, they are, man. Listen. So this is one of the things that I always remember, like when my dad held me down, right? So, me and Defty was out playing outside one day, and we got to like 3 or 4 fights that day, right? And in one fight, I got him. I beat the brakes off him, right? He ran home with him. I'm like, yes. You know what I'm saying? I'm on top of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I go to the crib. Next thing I know, there's a knock on the front door. I come out as Jeff D and the whole family outside, bro. Yo, the whole family in my front yard. Yo, listen.
Oh, guys.
Listen. But I was like, listen, I was like, what? Come on, man. I'll take it. I'm saying, I'm getting chest bow out. I'm like, yeah, what's up? What's good? What's good? And they all scattered. I said, yeah, y'all ain't shh. And I turned around. My dad was standing in the doorway with a machete.
You didn't even know he was back there.
I didn't know he was back there. I didn't even know.
He said, I'm going to protect mine.
Listen, they all just scattered.
What they said, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You think it's you, but it's your pops back there. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, I deflated.
Oh, you're like, yeah, I'm here. Then you turn around, you're like, it was him. Wow.
You know what I mean?
But that's love, though, man. Nobody going to touch my son.
Yeah, listen, nobody, man, nobody. I remember like too, one time I was
But ain't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Even though you have short conversation with your dad and you wonder if your father loves you, and then afterwards it's little things, he's like, man, this man really do loves me.
Listen.
Yo, I remember I was in high school and I got baptized. And I was doing a lot of crazy stuff. And I went to my father. And I told him, I was like, yo, Pops, I'm sorry everything I did that was disrespectful to you, you know. And I know I cursed you out. I asked you for a head up. I asked my dad for a head up. What kid didn't ask their parents for a head up?
I swung on my dad once.
I jabbed my dad in his face. I ain't gonna lie. It hit. You didn't do it with all your strength. You just, you went 100%. By the time it connected, it's at 15%. You see what I'm saying? And then, you know what my father said? You do right, you my son. You do bad, you my son. I'm always going to love you. Man, I said, wow, bro. What type of love you got for me, bro? That's deep, man.
Listen, my dad, and that's like that I had to question or anything like that. And I know I've told this story several times, man, but I had just got my license, right? My dad was working at Costco in Greenwich, right? So I just got my license. I'm on board and stuff like that. And I always pull up on my pops, like at work or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because nobody, like me and my dad have a different relationship. I think I have one of the strongest relationships than anybody with my dad. Because he would be up late night waiting for me. I would go visit him at his job. I'll just go to the house. Even if we don't say nothing, like he would be at there. I'll go to the house and just sit down in the living room with him and we just watch TV. Won't say a word. Won't say a word.
That's
but
a great moment.
There, just chill when I'm like, all right, Pops, I'm going to see you later. And that's it. But anyway, I got my job. I was 16 years old or whatever. I wanted to go see him at his job, right? Now, mind you, my dad is white with green eyes, right? My biological, he's white with green eyes, right? So I pulled up at his job over to Costco, and I'm like, yeah, hey, is Freddie here? And he's like, yeah, hold on 1 second. And he goes to the back into the garage. He's like, hey, Freddie, some niggas here to see you. Ooh, listen, yo. I gotta say this all the time. The only reason my dad didn't catch a body, because he did not want to see me kill a man. What? He was like, listen, you cut me open and I'm blacker than him, yo. I mean, he went in on him, man. I mean, called him all sorts of motherfucking. Listen, packed up his toolkits. He didn't look at your
face and realize that's your dad?
Listen, my dad packed his tools. He said, yo, fuck, I'm going. And he left. He quit right then and there. Right then and there, yo. And I was like, what? Wow. But he was, man, whew.
That's deep.
Whew. So
that's deep.
No, there's just those moments, and it's that, like I said, those are the things that he taught me again, how to really treat your wife. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it is when it comes to an argument, stuff like that. Be good to your neighbor, because my dad was always good to everybody. You know what I mean? Like we lived on the Ave, and when it come to snow, he shovel everybody walkway. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I do to this day, seeing things like that. You know, so those are the things that I picked up from him. For you, man, what do you think is one of the most important things or the biggest things you learned from your dad?
Be kind. You know, my father was a very nice person. You see what I'm saying? He had mad jokes. His jokes would be X-rated. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think a kid should be hearing stuff like this, but, you know, he was X-rated jokes. Hard-working man. But one thing I got to say is about being kind. He was nice to everybody he met. You know, super nice. Like, kind. You see what I'm saying? And that's the biggest thing I learned from him. But I realized later on that wasn't right. That wasn't the right way to go. You see what I'm saying? Because this word will eat you alive.
Listen, this is how I learned from my dad. Cause my dad, right? He will give you the shirt off his back. He will. But at the same time, like my dad is a very big homebody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't go anywhere, and he would come down, and he was very careful with who he associated with. Which I've always, you know what I'm saying? I've always just thought like, oh, my dad antisocial and stuff like that or whatever. But as I got to learn him, what I was learning is that he knew that not everybody was worth his time.
I'm going to keep it honest to you. I want to say my uncle taught me how to be more of a man than my father.
How so?
You know, my father was a great father, being from 0 to 8 years old. He's a guy that you want to go to McDonald's, you want to do this, give you toys, give you sneakers, he can give you everything. Dad, let me get $20, he'll give it to you. He's a kind guy, great guy. I don't take nothing from the man. I love the man to death. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I more learn from his mistakes. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to be like this, but I also love this from him, but I'm going to take this from him, and I'm never going to take this from him.
Yep.
But my uncle, on the other hand, I had uncles, they was gangsters. Not in a negative way. Some of them in a negative way, but I want to speak about positive. I had one uncle, we call him Boss Don. You ever had an uncle when you look at him and shake you? You see what I'm saying? And he taught me how to be a man by watching him, speaking to him, and he's teaching me at the same time. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to tell you how he taught me how to be a man. He told me all the time, when you look at somebody, you look them dead in their face. Let your yes be yes and your no's be no. If somebody comes to you over your crib, he opens your refrigerator trying to make a sandwich, you make sure you correct them, that man, right then and there. And tell him straight up like, yo, what's up? If you want a sandwich, you let me know. Other than that, you sit in the living room. Let me know what you want. They'll never disrespect you again. You see what I'm saying? And when you talk to people in your house, speak to them and make sure it's firm. You feel me? I remember one time I was working in a barbershop, one of the early barbershops. I was like, yo, Unc, I'm sick and tired of my coworkers. I sweep the floor. They don't sweep the floor. They talk junk about me all day. I'm the nicest man because I'm learning this from my father. Be nice to everybody. Right. You see what I'm saying? Hey, how you guys doing? You see what I'm saying? You know what my uncle said? Straight up, shake everybody's hand. When you walk in here, look in the eye, shake their hand. Sweep up the floor. They might not do it today. They're going to do it someday because they learned it from a leader. You see what I'm saying? So now at the end of the day, these dudes talk junk about you. You come to work. You're not here to be nobody's friends. You got to feed your family. You see what I'm saying? And even though you know they talk junk about you, this is some tough stuff you got to take. You feel me? Swallow your pride, leave and shake their hand again. And you know what's so crazy? When I left that barbershop, dude said to me, yo, Iceman, I'm so sorry how I treated you. He was a great man. You feel me?
Yeah.
My uncle taught me how to be a man more than the father. My father was great for childhood, but my uncle was great for manhood.
And I think and that's why I'm a huge believer, man, in the saying it takes a village.
It takes a village, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Because the same thing with my uncle Robert, man, and he did so many things to me, man. It is crazy, man. Like I remember sometimes, like my dad never took me to school, right? Never took me to school. Never been to my graduations, concert choir, plays, nothing. Because again, that was just my dad. Now, my uncle Robert, man. You know, I remember one time early on, man, I was like, man, I wish he was my dad, man, because like, you know, we just had some bonds. So I remember one time, man, he would take me. He took me to school one time in elementary school. Dropped me off. And we sat down in the cafeteria because it was early, man. We had breakfast together and we just had a conversation. I remember it was so funny because I got Cocoa Puffs, man. And they didn't have regular milk. They had chocolate milk. And I was like so upset. I'm like, man, how am I gonna eat this? I said, just take the chocolate milk, just put it on there. So I mean, it's gonna turn chocolatey anyway. Like I wasn't, right. You know. And we sat down, and that was one a great breakfast that I had with him, man. But the thing with him too is that he was always in and out of jail. right? And one time he was in jail, was graduating from 5th grade, and he was locked up at one time, man. And my mom came home with this big old package, right? And she was like, "Yeah, your uncle was working, and he got this for you." So I'm saying he was working, and he got me a gift from jail. Was a Super Soaker 2000, bro. I was the baddest man on the block with that bad boy, man. And I thought it was like, he's in jail, man, and he made sure that he got me a graduation gift for 5th grade.
That's love, bro.
You know what I mean?
I had an uncle that was locked up. I was an electrical apprentice, and I almost lost my job. And I told him the only reason why I don't got the job anymore. And he was doing 13 years at that time. His bid was 13 years long, and he used to call me all the time. And he wired money from jail to my aunt in Florida to give it to me to get a license, a driver's license. And then he called me back. He's like, "Yo, you got that?" And I said, "Yeah, man. How did you work it? How you getting?" He said, "Mind your business. Get that job." And yo, man, it do take a village, man. There's little things in life, I realize when you get older, it's not the fancy things that you got in your life. It's the little things in life helps you become the greater person tomorrow.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. All these things that and I'm glad things that happen our way, and seeing how things with my family and how we are, because that's another thing that showed me that, especially my mom's side of the family, is that we love I call it aggressive love. Like, we just really aggressive with how we love each other. Like, we just grab you up, kiss you. It's really, really rough and aggressive, man. It's
like a lot of kisses, hugs.
Yeah, man. It's just rough. Like, they just grab you. Like, it's just intense. You know what I mean? But that's how I am with my daughter. My daughter's like, my mom loves it. My mom loves it because that's how they taught us, man. But they always just taught us how much they love our family. But this is how I know, because like so my Uncle Robert, man, this dude been through everything, man. He crazy.
Shout out to Uncle Robert.
Shout out to Uncle
Robert.
Man. Shout out to Uncle Robert.
Sound real.
He real. Listen, right. So he was like, before I get back to this other story, right? So when I was getting married, my cousin Stephanie threw me a bachelor party. His daughter, me and her, we were close, man. And my Uncle Robert was there, whatever. And we was outside and we was playing Crazy Eights. Now he's been in and out of jail constantly. Like that's what he knows, right? So we sitting there playing Crazy Eights and stuff like that. And I turned, I was like, "Oh, yo, man, like that's what I'm talking about, my boy." I was like, "Yo, it's your go." My uncle's like, "Shut up, don't tell him nothing, man. He don't know it's his turn. He don't know it's his turn." I'm like, bro,
yeah, skipped.
Yeah. I was like, listen.
Like,
I was like, yo, where the shit at? Let me just slide up over here.
This bit is coming out now.
You know what I mean? But like he taught me that rough stuff, like about how being a man, like that part. You know what I'm saying? Like how just really defend yourself
straight.
Yeah, he ain't play that shit.
But listen, man. I'm telling you, my uncle was a real one. Yo, when he came in the room, it was like military style. My boy walk in, everybody stood up to shake his hand. You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, I'm around to my uncle. I'm like, yo, how can I get the power that you have? He said, man, keep watching me. You feel me? I didn't understand until he passed away. You feel me? And, man, that thing messed me up bad, man. You see what I'm saying? But every time I do something in my life right now, you know what I say? What my uncle will do. Let's do that. I had a second daughter. My first daughter, my uncle came to my house, and my daughter didn't stop crying. I was like, yo, uncle, man, my daughter it's not, I don't know, she don't cry. She not stop crying, right? And he was like, yo, where you laying her down at? I don't know what that is. You know when you put the baby in the thing and it swings left and right?
Yeah.
So I
swing the bassinet.
Yeah, the bassinet. Thank you, man. You know I'm Haitian and stuff like that. So I put her in the bassinet. He picked up the bassinet. He said, "That's why she won't stop crying. The bassinet's not comfortable." I said, man, it's the bassinet." He took her diapers, bro. He took the comforter out. He put the diapers behind it, and he put my baby in it. My daughter stopped crying, bro. And he said, you see, what he called me? He's like, "You see, Papi, this is what you got to do, man." He fed my daughter, man. And when my second daughter came, and I said, "Yo, uncle, man, I wish you was here to hold my second daughter." You feel me? And I'm proud of my uncle. He made me a great man.
Shout out to Unc, man.
Shout out to my boy.
And on that, like I said about being kids and having your second kid and all that stuff. For you, man, what do you think has been the toughest part of being a parent, man, or raising your kid right now?
The toughest part being a parent, I'm going to honestly tell you, I feel like I'm not doing enough. Even though I'm present there with my wife, I'm talking to my wife, I'm going outside, making an honest living, and coming home, take care of my daughter, I still feel like I don't do enough. The reason why I compare myself to my wife, you see what I'm saying? And I see how my daughter plays with my wife, like, you know, the conversation they have, and I'm like, damn, man, you know, I want to have the relationship. I don't have the mindset to have that, like, it's like little toys they play, like, you know, girls know, you know, like, oh, Barbie and they fantasy goes, or like the imagination goes elsewhere. And I wish I had that imagination like my wife, you know, or I say like, you know, I wish I could provide more for my wife. I wish I could provide more for my daughter. And I constantly tell my wife, you know, I'm like, hey, babe, you think I'm a great husband? You think I'm a great father? She tells me like, oh, you're a great father. You're not like no other. But how would you know, I'm your only husband?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know, at the end of the day, I feel like I don't do enough for my kids, but I'm doing everything I can do. But that keeps me pushing forward to be more for my kids. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And listen, I attest to that too, man. With my daughter, I've been blessed, and I'm so thankful to my wife because my dad wasn't that involved with me. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, like I learned how to ride a bike from the dude next door neighbor, Joey. You know what I'm saying? So he the one that taught me how to ride a bike and all these other things. So I'm determined to be anything and everything I can for my kids. Yeah. So I'm so lucky and blessed that I get to be a stay-at-home dad. You know what I mean? Like I get to be home. I got my t-shirt business. I do the podcast thing, you know what I'm saying, and all those stuff. And even at that, like I tell my wife, I still don't feel like I'm doing enough. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm teaching my daughter. I taught my daughter how to count in Spanish, how to know her ABCs or sounds or letters, all that stuff. You know what I mean? I'm there. But I still constantly doubt myself. Like, like what else can I do? What else should I be doing?
Can you do, right? Like me, it's like I work 12 hours, and now I used to work from like 6 a.m. to like 11 o'clock at night. So my wife got pregnant. I said, yo, babe, I'm about to go hard. Because at the end of the day, I'm like, yo, my wife's pregnant. I have to provide for my kid. Right, you know what I'm saying? So I went to work from 6 a.m. to 11, sometimes 1 a.m. just stacking. You know what I'm saying? So for 9 months straight, I was going crazy. You see what I'm saying? So my daughter came. I said, you know what? My daughter's here. I'm going to leave work every day at 7 now. You see what I'm saying? And then when my daughter came, I was like, man, I can't come to work at 6 a.m. anymore. I have to scroll back to 9 because now I have a family. It's different. Some people won't understand that. It's like, what can you do for me right now? You know, I gave you all of me. I gave the world all of me as a barber. Now I'm going to give you all of me as a barber from a father's point of view. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, I feel like I work so many hours. Now I'm like, damn, I want to be here for my kids and spend time with my kids. So now I'm focused on what can I do outside of barbering could scroll me back from barbering. That would bring me more time with my kids instead of keeping me away from my kids. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely, man. That's just the ultimate goal, man. And that's part, like I said, why I'm so determined to again get my t-shirt business going and do all these things because I want to be in control of my own time. You know what I'm saying? Like I've learned that too. Like we're working in a corporate world for so long. And then seeing again, like you got to be here, you got to do this or whatever, and then you got to sacrifice your family, and for what? Like you said, you know what I mean? Like at the drop of the dime, they're gonna replace you with somebody else, you know what I mean? Like or whatever because they worried about them,
right?
You know, and I was like that, you know, for a long time for a compliment. I was there, like like I'm worried about what I could do for them, you know. And then when I had my daughter and stuff, I was like, I can't do this no more. Like she need me. This is where my priorities is at, you know. And no matter what it is, I'm gonna figure it out. And being with my wife too, and having that support system and a great somebody to back you up, like we a team. We can get through anything. I don't care what the world throws at us. We can get through anything. You know, we work together. We support each other. We here, but our family got to come first. You know, and that's why I'm like so lucky and blessed to be able to do these things and be able to stay home with my kids and really take care of them. And it's a blessing, man. Like if when you a dad, man, and then you become that, it's everything you do is not about you anymore.
It's not about you. I remember everything you do is a consequence, bro. I remember I worked in a shop and my wife is a nurse and she's a respiratory therapist. I remember one night my wife was doing an overnight. She was like, "Hey, babe, when you get off of work, I want you to go pick up our daughter at my mother's house. No, from my mother's house, and bring her to her mother's house, and leave her there." So I was at work from say like 9 a.m. and I got off at 10 p.m. And then my wife said, "I want you to pick up our daughter from your mother's house and bring her her mother's house. Then you could go home and sleep, rest up, so you could go to work the next day." Then I said, and I got home. I said, "All right, cool, I got you." I got home, took a shower, because I took a shower because I've had a lot of hair on me from cutting other people's hair all day. Right. And when I got home, I said, "Damn, this is what America's like? You know, working hard and you're not seeing your family?" So I called my wife back. I said, "Yo, listen, babe, I'm about to pick my daughter up, our daughter, at my mom's house and bring her to our house to spend some time with her." You know what I'm saying? So I picked my daughter at like 10:30 and I spent time with my daughter. And she went to, I let my daughter go to sleep at 1 a.m. just for her to see her father. Mm-hmm. And then I woke up at 7 a.m. to bring my daughter to my mother-in-law house by 9. You see what I'm saying? You know, I have to prepare a lot of stuff, you know, food, clothes.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
And then that's when I went back. I called myself, "Yo, bump all that. I'm going to make sure I leave that barbershop every day at 7 p.m. now." You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like I said, you know, coming from an island family, my father's favorite word is like only in America. You see what I'm saying? Only in America, you going to kill yourself working all day, and then you get home, you barely could talk to your wife or kids because you passed out on the couch. Even though I'm independent, I make my own hours. You know what I mean? And my mind is like, get it. But in reality, I'm getting it, but my family's not getting me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Listen, man, and it was so emotional, man, one time, man, with my daughter and for my wife, because my wife is getting ready to go to work, right? She's getting ready to leave. My daughter's like, "Mom, stay home with us, come play, whatever." She was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Well," my wife said, "So, I got to go to work so I can get this money so I can buy you things or whatever." You know what I mean? Like, I got to go to work to take care of the family and do these things. And then my daughter got out of the bed and she ran over. She got her piggy bank with all her Tooth Fairy money. Was like, "Mommy, I got some money. Why don't you just stay home from work?"
Ah, that's beautiful.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I'm training my kids to be, man. I need them to understand to be good people. You know, to understand, to love people, to be caring, to be nice, you know, to be for yourself. Because that's one of the biggest things with my wife. Because me and my wife are total opposites, right? And like you said about your dad and all that stuff, being too kind and being so nice or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I knew that's me, you know what I mean? I'm an extremely nice person, you know what I mean? Like, I try to help out anybody or whatever and stuff like that. And my wife helped me learn my limit. You know, where to really cut people off and stuff before to really look after myself. And that's one of the reasons why I said, like, I can't wait to have kids with this woman, because from my side, they're going to get how to be a good people. But for my wife, they're going to learn how to push down and, you know what I mean? Like, stop people in their track and be assertive and really take care of themselves. You know, so it's again, it goes back to it takes a village and all these people that really, really help you teach and raise your kids and yourself at all the time, you know?
Yeah, most definitely. My uncle told me, like, don't let nobody play with your face. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, you have to be firm from the beginning so people don't play you. I had a good friend, his name is Ricardo Georges, and he told me, like, "Yo, Ice, you too nice." And we used to, before I go to work, I used to smoke weed with him. You know, at that time, you know, as a barber, you're a therapist. But at the same time, you know, you're a therapist to everybody who's your therapist. You know, and then Ricardo, he was my therapist. And he said, "Yo, bro, You know, when we chill in the hood, man, people's using you. You know, because you too nice. You have to practice saying no. And I was like, nah, you bugging. Like, yo, that people's loving me because I'm me. You feel me? I'm playing my role. He was like, yo, bro, you know, being too nice, you look stupid. You see what I'm saying? I was like, damn. And I remember we went to Sue's Rendezvous, and I bought some bottles, you know, some hookah, some bottles and all that. And he was like, Iceman, where's your bottles? I said, man, it's over there in the section. He said, yo, bro, people's going to drink your bottles. Go get your bottles and here your cup. And when anybody asks you to drink out of your bottle, say no. And I was like, damn, man, why I got to act like that? You know what I'm saying? He said, man, bro, man, don't let nobody play with your face. You feel me? And then from there, I was like, nah. And then every morning, even right now, every morning, Ricky taught me how to say no. So while I'm brushing my teeth, or, you know, washing my face, preparing myself to go to work, I will ask myself questions clowns will ask me. Yo, Iceman, can I get a free haircut? No. Yo, Iceman, I don't have enough money for this. Can you reduce it? No. You see what I'm saying? Because I noticed when you firm, people love firm people. People disrespect nice people. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Because I noticed that in this world. You feel me? Like, just imagine, like, you the guy that always help people all the time. You feel me? Everybody expects you to help everybody.
Yep.
But the dude in the family that never helped nobody, they never disrespect that man. They love that man more and beyond. You see what I'm saying? But the day you say no,
oh, hell break loose.
Fuck that. That ain't it. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, bro. Now I'm sitting here questioning myself. Yo, am I wrong? Why this dude acting like this? I gave the shirt off my back to this dude, and he's disrespecting me. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, won't you learn the power of no, bro?
It's a beautiful thing, man.
It'll be easy.
Listen, I remember one time, man, because I was that dude. Like I said, I was the only one that had the whip, had the license, had all those things and stuff like that. I remember
life is good for a lot of your friends.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And listen, I knew my boys who was there for me. Like I said, listen, it was Mish, you know what I'm saying? Mish, I know Mish is the first grade. God. That's my dude, you know what I'm saying?
Ugly nigga.
That's my swing. That's my swing, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, Mikey, Randy, and my boy JR. You know what I'm saying? Who was with it all the time. You know what I mean?
Mikey.
I got a story for you about Mikey.
We got stories.
Listen, I got a story.
I don't want to go too deep.
Listen.
But Mikey, it's so funny about Mikey. I knew Mikey since elementary school. You feel me? Mm-hmm. But we got older, we got separated. You know, life happens like that. But that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, so crazy. Your friends is my boys. We all know each other.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Even though we don't talk to each other, but when we see each other, it's like we rekindle. Like, yo, what's up, my guy? You know what I mean?
And those are people who gotta stay true, man. But Mikey, man, listen, Mikey has been. They used to call us Bacardi and Cola, man, because me and Mikey was together all the time, man. So I was the only one with the license.
That's a dangerous combination.
Yeah, it is. Listen, like, so I always had to. I was driving away, and I'm not big of a drinker like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen a lot of my family. I'm not crazy on drinking. You know what I mean? But we used to we went to this house party one night, right? And I was like, I'll be Desi Dave, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all go over there, do what you gotta do, but I'll be Desi Dave. I'll take everybody home, you know?
Oh, okay.
So they was all getting drinks, but what they was doing, right? They make 2 drinks. One for them, and then one they brought back to the car and stashed. So by the time I got home, I had a whole bunch of drinks and liquor for me to drink.
Oh, they'll look out for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying? So they make themselves 2 drinks. They brought to the car, right? And I had a van, so I had a bunch of cup holders and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So whatever. So
I don't think I met you with the van. I think I met you with the Jeep.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
So whatever, I had the van and stuff, and then I got back to the Ave. It was like, yo, Fred, we back on the Ave, man. Now you can get lit. You know what I'm saying? Now you can get lit. So I sat down on my porch, and they passed me the first cup, right? And then one of the dudes on the block, he lived over on in the V, right? So he came by. He was like, it was like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. He was like, yo, Fred, can you give me a ride to the V? You know what I'm saying? Like, can you? And of course, I'm a nice guy, and I was like, and I was just about to say yeah, and then Mikey stepped in the way. He said, no. He Desi Dave. He getting drunk right now. You gonna have to walk. And he was like, word, Fred? So you heard the man. I said, you heard him, man. I ain't gonna argue with him.
You know, so crazy though. Let's keep it honest, right? You always have a friend that, tells people what you wanted to say.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But maybe you was timid and like, man, I don't, fuck no.
Yeah, listen.
You see what I'm saying? And the town in Stamford, Connecticut, you can walk everywhere, bro. The V from Con Ave is not that far.
It's not.
It's not that far. I mean, if you walk, I'm yelling, I'm sorry. If you walking, it looks far. But once you start trooping, it ain't far, bro. Come on, you cut through the park.
Yeah.
Once you get up to Westover Park, you cut through the Westover Park, you walk to the back route, you walk up those staircase, you halfway there, bro.
Yeah.
West Avenue, soon you get to the gas station, you home.
Yeah, and I never get that, man. Mikey shut that man down. And I was like, you know, and that's where you start realizing, you know, who the real ones. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Who the real ones.
Shout out to Mikey, man.
Yeah, shout out to Mikey. That's my dude, man. I mean,
yo, you know, so crazy. Me and Mikey got kicked out of Stelmetto, right? And start going to Star School. That's my guy. That's my guy.
Yeah, nah. Mikey's a G, man. Mikey's a G, man.
I love Mikey. Yo, let me ask you a question, yo.
What's up?
So, how do you feel about confidence? When do you feel like you gained your confidence?
Man, it took me a long time to gain my confidence. I'll admit that, man. And that's like I said, one of the big reasons why I'm doing this, because I was very uneasy with who I was and trying to fit in all the wrong places. You know what I'm saying? Trying to please everybody and all those things. But it wasn't really, as I started to understand more and more, when I hung out with those core group of people. You know what I'm saying? Mish, Mike, Randy, Jay, and those and stuff like that, where I really was myself. And I was able to be who I wanted to be, and they loved me for it. You know what I mean? Like, I was, listen, that's what I said, when I moved out, like I said, from one day to the next, Mikey moved in with me. Me and Mikey moved out together, right? And I was a crazy dude. Well, I mean, I can get crazy if I need to be.
Yeah.
But every morning I would wake up, like Mikey would leave his door unlocked, right? So I used to go into his room with a pillow, and I put over his face. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, you want some pancakes?
I'm not living with you, bro.
Listen. One time he did that, like he locked his door, right? But we had like this little roof with a window out, so I was able to go out through this window, and I walked to the inside. I came into the room, right? And I was like,
you locked the door on me.
And so then he started sleeping with a knife about like this big under his bed. So one night I went in there, he was like, shrink. I said, you know what? I'm gonna leave you alone, Mikey. But I'm making some breakfast. You can like, yeah.
What about an egg sandwich? What you gonna do? That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So really shout out to that, man. But to that confidence thing, man, it took me a while to really establish that. And I think even more so, man, what really, really helped me too is with my wife. Like I said, my wife really helped and grow me and really taught me when to say no, when to put myself first, you know, when to take action, you know, when to be bold and stuff like that, and really be who I'm supposed to be. So now, like I said, thanks to my wife and all those things, where I've really, really can say that I've learned how to be confident, you know, when and where, when to be kind, when to help people, when to say no. And there's sometimes I even check with her, man. You know what I mean? Like, I remember one time we went to FFABB in Portchester, right? And I seen this lady with a flat tire, and she was like bugging out or whatever, stuff like that. And it's just in my instincts, man. And she knows it's my nature, man. If people, if I can help somebody, I'm gonna help them. You know what I mean? Like, but I had to check myself, so I was like, to my wife, I said, babe, like, you know, she got a flat tire, man. You think I should help her? Like, it's okay. She go see if she needs some help.
Help her out.
You know what I mean? Like, go see if she needs some help. And I asked her, she like, you know, she said, no, my husband's on the way and stuff like that or whatever. But I had to learn, and if I'm not sure, I check in with her. You know what I mean? Like, if I ain't 100% sure, I check in with her, and that's kind of like my moral or my confidence compass when I need to, or when I'm not 100% positive what to do. And that's why I says, you know, when you find that good woman and stuff like that, like you said, me and her joke around the time. I see people too, like trying to date, or we would go out on date night. I love going on date night with my wife. Yeah. Because we kind of like eye around a restaurant, and we could see like who on their first date or who this, that, or whatever out there's going. I was like, oh man, that nigga bombing over there. Oh my, what is he doing? Like, this dude, man. I seen this one dude, we was hanging because he's seen it like, oh, trying to be all flashy and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, God, that's pathetic, bro. Like, I'm glad I don't got to do that shit no more.
Be yourself.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So
I'm going to say, like, I had no confidence growing up. I ain't going to lie to you.
Really?
Yeah, I ain't gonna
Really?
lie to you.
Listen.
I say the same thing about you, bro. Every time I came around you, you had mad confidence. And to hear this, you had no confidence coming up. I'm like, that's crazy.
But see, every time you saw me, I was probably around Mish.
You was around people. And Mish, he king confident.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That nigga 500 pounds dancing bachata. You see what I'm saying? That's my guy.
Listen.
He ain't 500 pounds. You know what I'm saying? You know when you're younger, you always look like, this dude is way bigger than me. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, he only like 240. You feel me? That's my guy. Yeah. I love Mish, man. I love Mish to death.
I got, like I said, there's a sin. I can put on false confidence.
I was always jealous of Mish. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
Yeah, Mish is something else, man.
I was jealous of Mish because I don't know how to dance. You know what I'm saying? And this dude taught like merengue class, and you got your boy over here don't know how to dance. And why you don't teach him how to dance? That's crazy, bro.
He's shady, man. I remember.
Come on, man. That's why he look like a Michelin tire.
So I know you know Allen.
I love my nigga.
My boy Allen, Hurricane Allen.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
yes.
I love this story because I think this is the best story that I have with this dude, man.
Yo, hold on. For the record, I could talk smack about Mish. That's my guy.
Yeah, listen.
I don't mean no harm. When me and this dude pick up the phone, we hang on each other first. And then we continue the conversation. It's a relationship that me and Mish have, man.
Listen, I thought that's
I love that
everybody,
man to death.
Like they said, you know how he be going MIA sometimes. You be trying to find him.
Big Mish?
So I called him one time.
Because he trying to get focused.
Yeah, I called him recently, right? And it went to voicemail. I was like, yeah, hi. I'm calling the Norwalk Police Department. I want to file a missing persons report. He's about 6'1", 6'2", 250 pounds of Haitian descent. You know,
Fred,
I don't know where he is. I call some. Or another time.
Police department?
Listen, another time, right? When he was working at Finish Line. He was assistant manager there, and I pulled up. I guess he was in the back, and one of his workers was there. And I was like, "Yeah, hi, is Michelet Desral here?" And it was like they got nervous, and I was like, "Oh, I'm about to get this dude right here."
Yeah.
And it was like, "Who's looking for him?" I said, "Listen, I'm with INS, and I need to know if he's here because he's gonna get deported. And if you don't say anything, you're evading a felon, okay? So you need to tell me if Mish is in the back right now."
Somebody at the job, you did that to somebody at the job.
Yo, the person, I was in person. Yo, I was there. I showed up, and he was like,
"Wait a minute, you was in person to this?" Nah,
Yo.
what happened?
So then Mish come out the back, and I was like, "Yo, Mish," and the dude was shitting bricks. You know what I'm saying? And I told Mish, I was like, "Man, don't listen to this fool, man. This dude's an idiot, man."
Nah, Fred, you didn't do that, man.
Ask him. Listen.
Fab, you bugging.
Yeah, listen. I mess around with that dude, man. But,
but at the confidence thing, I had no confidence coming up, man. Cause you know, like my brother was a smart guy, my sister was a smart too, and you know, I thought I was a dumb one in the family, so I always thought I was stupid. You see what I'm saying? So I had a lack of confidence on that, and I didn't gain my confidence until I went to hair school, and I bumped into Miss Minnie. And then she was like, "Yo, son, like, you very smart." And I was like, "Nah, you think I'm smart?" She's like, "Yo, look at your grades. You get in like 90s. I know hair school, a lot of people's like, "Oh, hair school." But, you know, hair school is like you learn about anatomy, physiology, the layers of the skin, the layers of the hair, you know. But, you know, I guess, you know, once you find something that you really love, you put your full all intention into it. Yeah, and then, you know, I was always, you know, coming up, I was joking around. But me joking around, I was hiding my real self.
Yeah, that was me too. That was me too, man.
You know, and then being around Mish helped me build my confidence. I remember a lot of times Mish put me to the side like, "Yo, bro, you need to stop doing this and start doing this," you know. And even hanging out in Merle Ave, you know, hanging out in Merle Ave, you know, people hanging on you all day. You know,
you got to get a tough skin real quick.
You got to get a tough skin, but I think, you know, when you realize you raising them in a Haitian household, you getting hanged on by your parents, bro. You see what I'm saying? So when we go outside, like, man, my parents hang on me all day. Then you go outside, people hanging on you. So now you're like, man, I'm not fast with the flaming. So now, you know, now you watching TV, you're like, man, I'm about to get these dudes outside. I ain't going out like that. So now, soon I start hanging back, and honestly, I only want one hang battle. You feel me? Out of 13 years I lived in the projects, I wanted one hang battle. But I loved it. I said, I'm running with it. But being in the hood helps you build confidence too. Even though you don't have much, but you know, you're like, you with your peers, you're like, boom, 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 boom. You know, you build confidence, but I built confidence. I want to say, like, you know, when I was in hair school, I built my confidence. And then, you know, my uncle and reading, I read a book called The Way of a Superior Man.
I'll look into that.
Bro, that's a great book. Don't let wifey find it. I'm telling you, like, it helped me become a great man. And it's so crazy. I read that book when my wife was pregnant, right? And soon my wife became pregnant, I was like, damn, man, I'm about to have a daughter. I don't even, you know, I know what being a man is from my peers, my uncle, and my father. And, you know, my brother also. My brother helped me become a man also. I ain't gonna lie to you. And he's only 1 year older than me, but he helped me. So once I read this book, I said, damn, I'm about to become a father. I need to learn how to become a real man. And I read the Steve Harvey book too also. And all this stuff like helped me. Once I read it, I was like, damn, man.
You got to read then, if you're into that, man. This book that really helped me grow up, learn and push me to this too is Cry Like a Man by Jason Wilson.
Cry Like a Man.
Yeah. He just got another book I got to get into that. It's called Battle Cry, man. But definitely got to read that book. It's an amazing
Cry
book.
Like a Man.
But I want to get back to that, Alan. So before we wrap, because we winding it down, man. But figures would make it. But yeah, me and Alan, I don't know how it came to be about, man. One time he was like, "Yo, just come to my house. We gonna watch." It was Tom Cruise. He was a ninja. I forgot what it's called. The Last Samurai. The Last Samurai.
Yeah, that was
right?
fire.
He was like, "Yo, come see this movie with me at my crib." And I was like, "All right." It was the first time I ever went to Alan. I was just me and Alan for the first time ever because it always was like mission stuff. But I was like, "All right, cool. We cool people." So we go over there, right? So now it was like almost like 12 o'clock, 12:30, 1 in the morning, right? And we was just like, damn, and we mad hungry, man. So we go outside, and you know, we was over there on Merle, and we looked down the little community room. There was a party going on. They was playing some Spanish music. I looked at him. I said, "Yo, Alan, come with me." He was like, "What you mean?" I said, "Just come with me. Come with me." He was like, "All right, cool." So we get downstairs, right? I said, "Listen, follow my lead, all right? Just follow my lead. We about to get something to eat." So it's like, all right, cool. So I was like, we walk in there.
Wait a minute.
And there was a Spanish. I was like, hey, primo, what's going on? Hey, go on.
You guys didn't know nobody in there?
I ain't know nobody at the party, bro. I ain't know not a soul, man. But I went right to the back, fixed me up a plate. He fixed me up a plate. He want some Coke? I was like, yeah, let me get some Coke too. We can dance our way right out the front door. We went back upstairs and ate.
Yo, that's wild. Talking about party bombing.
I said, listen, we got some food, though. We got some food.
That community room is popping. There's some legendary popping parties happen over there, man.
Oh man, but I mean, this is a great conversation going down. We're gonna have to come back for a part 2, but I want to wind down, and I got 2 last questions for you, man, before we let this go. So number 1, right, for you, what do you think has been the best advice you've ever received?
The best advice I ever received was, damn, there's so many advices. I don't know. You know, it's I'm going to say Only in America by my dad. You know, like it's a little joke. You know, certain things happen only in America. Like, yo, only in America this will happen. You know what I mean? That's one of the best advice I've ever had. I don't know. It's a lot of advices. I can't even like explain. You know, like my uncle saying, "Don't trust plastic." You know, like we was fixing something in his house, and then as we fixed it, and I said, "Uncle, let me get this plastic piece. This plastic piece is gonna hold this thing together." He's like, "All right, cool. Don't trust plastic." But that was his way of like, "Don't trust condoms." You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just be strong as a man. You know, like, I don't know. This is so many.
Well, not just said it like you said, like, don't trust plastic, man. One of the and I think one of the most important things that we got to really teach our young generation is how to be financially smart.
Facts.
You know what I mean? How to really understand money.
Facts.
Right? So one thing that my dad has always told me, man, growing up, he was like, if you can't pay for it in cash, you don't need it.
Yo, my dad told me something too. He said, yo, if you don't have no money, don't go outside. Stay your ass inside. You see what I'm saying? But financial advice is very good. I learned that at 24 in my life. You know, I was really fucked up. And I was working security guard. And I'm working outside doing traffic duty at ShopRite. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about every season I felt. And then I'm working all these checks. And I said to myself, like, damn, man, I don't have no money saved. I got to change my life. But, yo, going back to the questions you asked me, one of the best advice I learned in my life is when I was doing community service. This is what I'm going to say. And when I was doing community service, because I got caught for doing something, I had to go, do 1,500 community service hours. And a dude that just got out of jail from doing 20 years. And he asked me, he's like, yo, bro, what you on here for? And I told him what I'm in here for. He's like, yo, bro, I just did 20 years. And he told me about his life. He told me what he had. He told me how his life was before he went inside. I said, all right, cool. In my mind, I'm like, oh, damn, it's another old head talking. You see what I'm saying? And then he said, yo, don't work all these hours and do all this stuff. And later on, you have nothing to show for it. That's one of the best advice I had in my life. Make sure you do everything. And later on, you can have something to show for it. Don't do nothing for granted. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's one of the best advice. And just imagine, right? Like, let's just say you're a millionaire right now. And then later on, when all the smoke clears up and everybody's away, you have nothing to show for it because you lived that lavish lifestyle. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's one of the best advice I got.
All right, beautiful. So, and then lastly, like I said, looking at the younger generation of these kids coming up and stuff, you going through a bunch of things, man. What is one piece of advice you would offer them?
One piece of advice I offer them is believing in yourself. When I say believe in yourself, like look in the mirror and gas yourself every day. You understand? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like when I was younger, I was always just looking for confirmation from everybody else. Like, oh, you think I should do this? You think this is the right thing? And people will give me their own opinion because I always second guess my opinion. I remember the first time I wanted to become a barber, and I was in the 10th grade, and I told my mother, I was like, hey, Mom, I want to become a barber. And my mom said, no, they don't make no money. You see what I'm saying? And my father-in-law, my mom's husband said to, like, yo, if the boy want to be a barber, let him become a barber. It's crazy. Somebody outside of my family believed in me before I believed in myself. You see what I'm saying? And then afterwards, I listened to a lot of motivational speakers, and to build, belief in me and stuff like that. And then I realized I had to start doing affirmation, and everything I said I want to do was second guessing myself. Was the things I needed to do. Sometimes coming up, people like, yo, Iceman's a weirdo. You feel me? Because I thought outside the box, I was not thinking the same way as others. Because they didn't understand the way I was thinking. It was weird to them.
Right.
But it was not foreign to me. So at the end of the day, like, yo, look in the mirror and tell yourself, like, bro, this is where I want to be. This is what I need to do. Sometimes in the beginning of the year, people write down, like, like things that you want to do. I write down, like, 10 things I want to do every year. And I'm like, yo, the amount of money I want to save, what I want to accomplish, or things I want to change in my life, or things I want in my family or my wife, whatever. I write all these things down and I stick to it. Now, at the end of the day, like sometimes, I keep reading over to have goals, and these are the things I want to accomplish, and these are the things I believe I need to do at that time. So at the end of the day, always believe in yourself, bro. People could tell you like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. And your mind, you're going to say, man, fuck you, yo. You don't know what I can do. Only reason why you say I can't do it because you scared because you can't do it.
Right.
You heard? So at the end of the day, always have believe in yourself. And at the end of the day, make sure you own a gas station in your brain. Gas yourself every day, bro. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, if you don't gas yourself, who's going to do it?
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
And always say to yourself, I got the power. Facts.
Absolutely.
I'm going to say this before I go any further, we leave. Yo, at the end of the day, man, God is my creator. You feel me? And I'm his creation. And I'm trying to mimic him. So I'm God myself.
Yeah. He created us in his image, man. So anything he could do, we could do.
So why should I make McMahon?
Exactly, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. Well, I mean, thank you so much for coming down,
Always,
sitting down,
brother,
man. I
man.
appreciate it, man.
You.
And just if you need to get a haircut, if you in the area, please check out my Supreme Cuts over there in Norman. My boy Ice the Barber. You know what I'm saying, hook it up.
Appreciate you.
And
60 Main Street, Norwalk, Connecticut. It's really 58B Main Street, but if you put that on your GPS, it's gonna bring you somewhere else. 60 Main Street, right next to Napa Auto Parts. You're gonna see Norwalk Supreme Cuts. We're gonna give you the Supreme haircuts.
Yes, sir, man. And just like this, man, for the conversation, the barbershop is always a place for good conversation, man. Every time I go in there with my son, man, we have a great conversation. So I appreciate you, man. And as always, everybody, like I always say, no matter who you are, no matter what you've done, your big brother loves you. Stay blessed, everybody.